Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we have a 23-23 alignment and the reset energy that is present coming with the equinox, the September's equinox. The September's equinox marks the beginning of autumn in the northern hemisphere. The word equinox, as I mentioned yesterday, refers to the time when the day and night are of approximately equal length, which occurs twice a year around March 20 to 21st and September 22nd to 23rd. And today also the sun went into the zodiac sign of Libra. And as 23-23 in numerology would be 5-5 alignment, as 2 plus 3 is 5. Number 5 in numerology represents change and freedom. So when we put two fives together, we get the genius. The genius is a mastermind who can transform his life through intellect and skillful acts into freedom through constant change and adaptability. So today is such an important date, and I wanted to make this video for you as we can use this present energy to transform our life. So we will focus on manifestation, we will focus on how to organize yourself in a way that you can actually direct your energy towards solutions, towards potential creative things that can transform your life rather than being lost in chaos. As you know, Libra, also known as the harmonious seeker, endowed with the gift of balance, inspires you to embody a deeper sense of equilibrium in a world of shifting energies. As we know, we are living in interesting times. Energies are shifting. A lot of chaos is happening around the world as the byproduct of great transition. We are transitioning from the old age of Pisces into the new age of Aquarius. And this was a long-awaited transition, as each zodiac cycle lasts for about 2,160 years and is made out of 30 degrees, and each degree of a zodiac lasts for about 72 years. So you can imagine that almost one generation takes to pass 1 degree of a zodiac. You can imagine then how much time it took for us to come to this point where we are now transitioning into the new age, which is also known as the golden age. That's why so many changes are happening. And in any ancient culture, they were talking about this transition. Like Mayans were talking about shift into the fifth world, into the new world. And as this shift is happening, many of us may be experiencing a transition within our own cycles, as we're also moving through our personal, individual cycles, transitions, mental transitions, emotional transitions, spiritual transitions. For many people, they're awakening intuitive senses, or in some spiritual traditions, were called also spiritual senses, that are connecting us to our source, to where we're coming from. And for many of us, we may be guided towards a certain knowledge, a certain wisdom, a certain source of advices that can help us to navigate through this time. So we are never separated from this source of guidance. Just that this guidance is happening in usually unexpected ways. Like you come across certain books that you don't know where you found them, but as you start reading them, it's exactly what you needed to know. That's how you're guided. But because we hold towards this kind of mystical approach, certain expectations, even when mystical things are happening to us, we don't see them as mystical because we compare ourselves to somebody else who may be more spiritually evolved. And therefore, when something interesting happens to us, we say, oh, I haven't got an out-of-body experience, so therefore it was nothing special. But you're on a journey of your own evolution, and you have to see yourself as an incredible individual evolving in your own unique way. And you have to keep moving forward. You have to keep evolving, because if you don't, you feel stuck, right? And Leonardo da Vinci had this really interesting saying when he said that iron rusts from disuse, stagnant water loses its purity, and in cold weather becomes frozen. Even so does inaction sap the vigor of the mind. So when we think about that, we recognize that actually we may get a bit rusty if we're not moving forward. We may get a bit stagnant if we don't change, right? If we don't flow with the changes of the world. And great philosophers would always say to you to stop focusing on the things that are out of your control and actually pay attention to what all these changes are inspiring you to do. Right? Because of your personal stagnation, you may feel stressed out. You may feel anxious. You may feel afraid and scared because all of the craziness that is happening on the world. But those of you who are actually flowing with the changes, adapting to the changes and taking the best out of them are thriving already. And as I'm reading comments every single day, I'm checking what you're writing, and I'm seeing many of you are thriving, but also I'm seeing many of you who are kinda struggling with lower energies of sadness, of anger, of emotional reactions. And I'm here for both of you, for both aspects of our personal experiences. And I'm supporting both, because even when we are thriving, there comes a time when we meet challenges, and we all know that. That's how life works. And when we have the slow moments, we know that there will come a time when we will experience a breakthrough. But there's a common pattern that most of us recognize as we move through our own experiences. And as we have today this equinox, the great alignment between day and night, we have a strong, coherent energy that can help us to see those things more clearly. We recognize that when we feel down, when we feel easily triggered, when we feel sad, when we feel exhausted, our mind goes out of order, our body goes out of order, which means we fall into negative habits, negative patterns, toxic patterns. And our environment, therefore, goes out of order. Things get messy, right? Our place get messy. We stop taking care of things. And this is kind of degradation of our life story until we hit the rock bottom, the dark night of the soul, where we decide to change something. And as soon as we decide to change something, we start with taking care of our mind firstly. We start paying attention to how we actually think, how we actually feel. And we pay more attention to something that can help us to change that, right? Sometimes we start reading books, sometimes we start watching certain videos, and whatever may help us. And it puts us to the next stage where we start moving our bodies. We put what we've learned or what we've read or what we've heard into action, and we start taking care of our bodies. We put things back into order. We start moving ourselves. We go outside into the nature. We recharge. We start working out. We put things into greater order, and it leads us into having more energy. So we start taking care of our environment. We clean up our place. We put some beautiful paintings on the wall, right? We make it a pleasant place to be. And it puts us into a state of greater coherence. We experience more energy, more creativity, more inner peace, tranquility, and suddenly we start to feel more inspired to make greater changes. So it's all about cycles, right? And we have to just recognize where we are right now, at what kind of stage we are right at this time. A sun entered from yesterday to today, entered into the zodiac sign of Libra. Libra, also known as the harmonious seeker, and endowed with the gift of balance, inspires you to embody a deeper sense of order in the areas of your life that are currently most chaotic. And that's something we need to focus on. So instead of dwelling in the chaos of circumstances, focus your time and energy on the opportunities that are arising for you at this time. And of course, if we want to do that, if we want to, instead of focusing on chaos of circumstances, we may find a lot of that, right? A lot of chaos. Focus your time and energy on the opportunities that are arising for you at this time. And for that, you really need to take care of your mind firstly. And emotions will follow. If you take care of your mind, emotions will follow. If you meditate on that, if you slow down, if you pay attention to what is your mindset right now, what is your mental state right now, what is your psychology right now, your intellect, are you expanding it? Are you nurturing it? Are you learning new things? Are you striving towards greater wisdom that can actually improve your life? If not, with what information you're feeding your mind to? Because your mind is nothing but a garden. Have you heard that ancient saying, stop chasing the butterflies, but rather take care of your garden, your inner garden, and butterflies will come? Have you heard that? It means that your mind, your inner world is a garden. And with whatever information you're feeding your inner world, that's what is growing within you. If you're feeding it with chaos, with news, with toxicity, with complaining, with gossiping, with whatever may be finding you, that's what starts growing within you. And that's how you will feel. But as soon as firstly, we have to decultivate, or what's the English word? We have to, make sure that we prepare the garden for the new season. As after this equinox, we have the next 6 months of a new chapter, let's say that way. And in this new chapter, now we are preparing ourselves for the next stage of our evolution. And in this next stage of evolution, it starts with the Libra. And Libra seeks to create order in the areas that are out of order, to create greater coherence in the areas that are incoherent in our lives. It doesn't mean what's incoherent on the world, but within your own world. And firstly, it starts with our mind. When you take care of your mind, also your emotions will start to make more sense to you. And what I mean by that, for example, when you calm down your mind, you will also feel more calm. You will feel more calm. But when you recognize that something easily triggers you, it's because of a certain trauma. And that's where we gain a greater emotional awareness. So usually if that is happening to you, you may be deeply drawn right now towards certain knowledge of psychiatry, a work of emotional healing, or a shadow work, or a work of inner child healing. And if you feel drawn to it, just go into it and study the subjects and learn from them. And don't be that person who's constantly just watching and listening videos and podcasts and don't do anything. Don't be that person. You're only presented with those things so you would find tools within it, so you would find knowledge within it, so you would find wisdom within it. And then use it. Be practical about your life. Plato said, ignorance is the root and stem of all evil. So as long as we are just ignoring the practical tools, not using them, we are being ignorant. And that's why our life is not the way we would like it to be. So if we want to manifest greatness in our lives, we firstly need to start taking greater order in our lives so we can make space for greatness, right? People that we would describe as great ones are firstly great in their minds, right? They're firstly great in their minds. And then also they're great in their bodies. They're taking care of their bodies. They're working out. They're nurturing their energies. That they are taking care of what they are consuming, what they are eating, what they are drinking, right? So once we take care of our mind, we make sure we're feeding our minds with what helps us to grow, what nurtures our evolution. We also start taking care of our bodies. Usually we learn through the mental work of what can help us also to thrive within our bodies. As your body is your temple, your body is your vehicle, your body is your vessel. And there's actually an act of honor when you take care of your body. It's an act of honor, of respect towards yourself. And many people seek to be respected while they're not respecting themselves. So I want to remind you to respect yourself in a way that you start taking care of yourself. Like when I will give you an example. Just, the whole summer I was traveling a lot. I was busy and many of my workout routines went completely out of order, and I've started missing it because if I'm not working out, if I'm not doing strength workouts, I start to feel like I'm not being in the peak state of focus, of discipline, and also of harmony, because it helps me to stay in a wonderful state where I'm really happy about myself. I feel healthy, I feel strong, and I feel alert, focused. And it helps me to be even more creative. And just a few days ago, I've started with my workout plans once again with a great order, and I already start to feel much, much better. I've started to feel much, much better. And with that, I want to say, when you take care of your body, also your spirit will be grateful, because you will have now more space. So the higher energy can move through you, right? As I mentioned before, iron rusts from disuse. If you are not using your body for what it's made for movement, for being exposed to hard things, for doing what you love, for stretching the muscles, for using your muscles, using your brain, using your eyes, using your mouth for speaking, for expressing yourself, using your hands for working, using your legs for walking, for running, for doing all kinds of things. When you start doing that, more of your soul will be able to express through you, to move through you. And that's how you activate your senses. Most people are senseless because they're not using their bodies, they're not using their minds for what they are made of. And once you start using more of yourself, you open up more of yourself. And that's where you start thriving. So if you want to really manifest great things, you have to have clarity in your mind and also clarity in your action. You shouldn't procrastinate, because when you have clarity over what you know that you have to do, you will do it. And when you will feel tired, you will rest, you will rejuvenate. Yesterday I've mentioned Yoga Nidra is a great practice to rest your nervous system, to calm down your nervous system so you can speed up the rejuvenation of your process, of whatever you need. Sometimes you may experience great downloads during these processes. When your nervous system relaxes, your brain will relax, your neurocortex, your thinking part of the brain will calm down. And when you stop analyzing your life, you open up for the higher analyzation of what you need to know about yourself. Your higher self starts speaking to you about what you need to know at this point, what to do so you can improve your life if that's the case, that what you're striving towards. And take care of your environment. If you take care of these three things, mind, body, and environment, you will align with the harmony of today's equinox, coherent balance between day and night. And it will put you onto a new quest, and you will start evolving. This new chapter that is in front of us, the 6th month's new chapter that is in front of us, will open for you new opportunities, new possibilities, and many new manifestations you're working on right now will show up in your life. Not because life is just blessing you, but because also a part of you wants to show you that your power of creating the reality is real. And once you start believing more into yourself, you will start doubting less, right? So stay laser focused on the direction of your goals and keep expanding your horizons. For it is through growth and the expansion of experiences that you become the character of your dreams. So may the character you want to become your greatest project that you're working on right now. Be precise with that. Have that clear vision. Be laser-like focused onto the version of yourself you're becoming. So once you become it, you will have a lot of wisdom, lessons, and experiences, like how you've become it, how you've made it possible. So then you can project these lessons onto others. And that's how collectively we're evolving. As a student becomes a teacher, and a teacher becomes a master, and a master becomes teacher for others. And that's how the whole process goes. So, my friends, it's a reset time where you reset your life and you focus on what is arising out of chaos and how to create order out of disorder. And that's where you start thriving the most. So you can use the energy that before you've been wasting it for sadness and lower energies and maybe complainment and dissatisfaction and worrying and complaining and gossiping. Now you can actually take care of yourself and focus on constructive thoughts, on making plans for your future, and investing your energy into initiating those plans, into putting things into motion, creating habits out of these little actions. As this old famous saying goes, inch by inch, life's a cinch. Yard by yard, life is hard. Which basically means that make baby steps and life will be much easier. When you set huge goals, steps will be huge and therefore everything will be hard. Don't be afraid of hard things. But when you make hard things, or when you can make hard things a bit easier, do it like that. As long as you're walking towards what you're aiming for, who you're aiming to become, you will be good. When you stop, make sure that you don't become stagnant, right? Always have goals, have clarity, and stay true to yourself. Honor yourself, honor your body, my friends. So this is it for today. I hope you found something valuable. I love you all, my friends. Thanks to all of you for supporting my art in our Etsy shop. I Draw My Passion. The link is in the description of this video. We are running a sale, 12% off to all of my art. We've also just published few new stickers. So go there and check it out. They are really, really beautiful. We just got them, and in person they are really, really beautiful. So thank you for your support. With that, you're supporting this mission. So thank you so much. And my friends, till next time, stay beautiful, stay magnificent, stay creative, and one love.